Hello everybody and welcome to a new game. Today we have Primitive Society Simulator. I want to thank the devs for sponsoring this video and giving us this game. This one's really fun. I've already got a lot of time in this one on Steam. I've already put in over 20 hours in it. This game's very good. If you've played Song of Six before, very strong Song of Six vibes. And what the dev have asked me to do today is kind of play through the game and teach you guys how to play it, which this is the Noobert channel. Teaching games is our way of doing things, and I hope devs asking us to do this becomes a trend, because that would just be really fun, getting to play lots of games all the time and show you guys how they run. That'd be really cool for the channel. So without further ado, new tribe. So this is the Age of Strife. We're on the fertile continent or crescent between Euphrates. We're going to skip all this. It's kind of just flavor. You can read it if you want to. We're going to make the clan of Noobtopia, as always. Rivalry Rebel, I'm going to do limited conflict because I'm still not very great at the game, but I can definitely show you how to play and you'll probably be better than me. This game is complicated and it's unconventional in how you play, right? This is going to feel like a city builder really quickly. It's not. It's a game of conquest and conflict, and you need to expand quickly. In fact, if we fail to expand, we're going to die really fast. Holy crap, that music's loud. Let me turn it down. Yeah, just turn it off. I want the music, but at the same time, I probably shouldn't have the music. It's for the best. All right, so these are all our people, all our tribesmen. We can like click them and tell them to go do things, like go places and stuff, but it's not very helpful. We can't really order them to do anything. Instead, what we do is we use the schedule here to assign stuff, but we need a leader to do that first. And so of all these people, we need to pick someone to lead them. So we can do that on the top left here. We click leaders, and these are all of our people. We have five males and 5 females. We're going to click new leader here, right? And we can see the intelligence, the vitality, and the age of all of our people. They're all 13 years old. They're all relatively not smart, and one of them has really good vitality and won't die quickly, so we're actually going to let Thalner be our first leader, and he'll just be in charge of the dudes, and we'll confirm that leader, and then we'll make a new leader here, and, well, most intelligent here is Pearl. Pearl will be in charge of all the ladies. And we'll confirm that, and that works good. So then we're going to go to work here. So see how it's automatically giving us work groups for each of these groups already? It put the women on farming and picking stuff up, and the men are on crafting and gathering, right? At the start, this is fine. It's important to remember that you don't want to let any group do all kinds of tasks, because if you do one task a long time, your people get better at it and it makes them faster at it, right? So if they're trying to do everything, it means that they'll do everything poorly. And so over time, you want to have more leader groups with more varieties of work, or fewer varieties of work between each of them, so that each one is kind of specializing, if that makes sense. Right? And so as time goes on, you want to establish more leaders and more groups as you have more people up here. Now, I might struggle to explain some of this stuff, but we're going to keep going through it over and over again. We're going to play through this as far as I can go until I'm dead. All right, so let's see how far we get this time, because last time I made a base that spanned like this whole space here. Huge. As you see here, we have the world map, and I will talk about this later because that is a lot of stuff that we're not even ready to touch on yet. Let's just do this. So first few days, people need places to sleep, they need food to eat, and they also need stuff to build with, craft with, and all that. So if we click the nice little hammer down here, we can see we have craftables, buildables, and storage, right? This spot here is actually a storage itself. We can kind of sort this out for all you Rimworld players. This is going to be something that isn't too new to you. And actually, for a lot of these crafting survival games coming out lately, this shouldn't be too new to you. But anyways, certain buildings need to be under roofs. Certain buildings don't need to be under roofs. Certain buildings get penalties when they are not under roofs. For us, we want to build a big old hut right here. I'm going to press the Z button to rotate this, and we'll just make it big. And then underneath that, we're going to go with store. And I actually have to close out of this and close it because I can't see what I'm doing. I'll put 4 meat racks in here, 4 weapon racks in here, 4 clothing stands in here. Then I'll put a fruit dryer right there, and a crafting bench right here. And we're just throwing down, so the meat stand, this is where they'll dry meat. So if you have a meat rack, you guys can't eat raw meat, you gotta dry it. Dried meat, right? Weapon racks gets our crap off the ground. I don't want my stuff on the ground. And then clothing racks, where the clothes go. We'll throw down a pottery kiln right here, and we'll put down a stove right there, and an herbs bench right here, which you can use the herbs bench to make medicines and all that important stuff as well. And we're kind of just trying to get everything that's necessary for our people right away under one easy to manage structure. And we'll actually extend this building a bit. And we'll go to furniture. And we'll put torches every so often here so I can see. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to let them build all this because it'll take them a minute. And we're going to go to the schedule tab here now because as we've assigned leaders, we can now manage the schedules of the people that have leaders because the leaders keep track of what people are doing, make sure they all do work during the day. Right now it's set that they'll participate in work production for half the day and culture research the other part of the day, which I will tell you all about researching because there's a couple different kinds of it later. Right now we're not researching. We're going to have them work. We're going to get all this initial legwork done and out of the way because there's a lot to do. Winter comes fast, people die quicker, and that's just no good. And looks like we need blades, so we don't even have enough knives. So different tasks require tools. That's the other thing. So we start off with a pickaxe and a flint axe and some flint. This guy needs a knife. He can't cut grass. They can't gather the stuff they need to gather, right? So we're going to let them grind through as much as they can grind through on day one here. But it's probably night's going to come quicker than we want it to, and stuff just won't be done. But you can see they're going to get these first roofs put up right away. So at least everything we're doing is outside of the nature. Everybody just kind of lays on the ground. How's it going? Norger, Pearl, Rolka, Scar. I can't pronounce these names. These are wild names. I don't know which culture these names come from. I can't even pronounce them. But they're cool names, like Viking names. So they got 4 beds done. That's fine. Beds are really nice, and so it's slightly more comfortable. Sleep a bit better. They're a bit happier. Still waiting on flint tools. So we're going to come over here to the crafting bench, and we're going to set basic crafting minimums for the stuff we need in this village. So we want to keep a minimum stock of 5 slings, or no, not slings. A minimum stock of 2 axes, a minimum stock of 2 knives, a minimum stock of 2 pickaxes, and so on and so forth for all these tools. We're going to make 5 spears just in case anything happens early on. Hopefully we don't need it at all because I'd rather switch to bows and go raid right away so I can teach you how those mechanics work. We'll keep a stock of 3 of those just in case we need it as well. But I'm going to move the rope up a bit, to the top. There we go. So they're going to start making all the tools and stuff that we need. They're going to get all this work stuff done for us. And everybody's out gathering resources. We don't actually have to say which resources need to be gathered. There's still, people are getting cold at night. So let's go ahead and head over to our buildings, store, furniture, a bonfire. So bonfire, it's a basic warmth at night, right? People really like the bonfire. And we're going to put it right outside where they all live and work. And they'll get that put together as quickly as they can, probably by the next day. Let's see what it needs. It's got all this stuff. It's just waiting for a worker to finish it. There we go. Things are already starting to look pretty good. So once this all gets done, we're going to skip ahead for you guys until all this work they're doing is finished. Then we'll move on to showing you everything else that I want to teach you about. Alrighty. So we have a fire, and the fire is keeping everyone warm. People are happy. We only have 2 freezing people. And they're the only people that didn't really go by the fire in the middle of the night. It's now time to work on step number 2 of things that are important for us. So we're going to go to culture and tools, and we're going to throw down a technology site right here. Not a lot to it. Actually, I want it on the other side. And the technology site is where we'll be able to research technology here. And the first thing I want to research is bows, but we need the technology creation site done first. On top of that, we also need to get our supply of food really sorted out. And we don't really have any good ways of doing that yet. So we're going to have to rush through making sure we can plant grass and stuff. If we look here, we do have some grass, but not a huge amount. But there is only 10 people here, so maybe it's not a big deal. We'll see. We need just one. Just one. We'll keep a stock of 1 for this because it needs 1 clay pot to make the spot where we make our food. And then for this, we want to make sure we keep a stock of like 200 dried berries. That way we're not running out of food. And you can see they did put some meat on the drying rack already, so they are drying meats already for us. And we can finally go and look at that technology. We do want to get the bow first. That is a big deal for us. Let's go ahead and make sure that's getting crafted. Then we come up to the schedule here, and this is where technology comes in. So there's a bunch of different things on the schedule here for works that can be assigned for different parts of the day. Culture is culture technology. There's a couple different kinds of it. For crafting and trading, we have different things that give boosts to technology creation speed, the birth rates in the colony, right? All the way to capturing other people, which gathering slaves in Primitive Society Simulator is incredibly important. We'll get into that more later when we start raiding. But for now, just know that fertility is also an important thing on its own as well. I'm probably going to grind us all the way down through the eagle here, which increases male likelihood of causing pregnancies, very important. Then the sun god would help with farming and stuff like that. Craft and trade is math and stuff like that. Then of course we have mentoring for children, which is, it's a lot. I don't want to overwhelm you, so we're going to go through this as it applies to this particular run, right? So the first group of people we have assigned to doing technology are right here. The bow has been assigned to be done by who? So we can see who has how many hours allocated here, as well as how many points per hour they can get, as well as the points of knowledge they have to put towards these things. So Thalgar has the most intellectual people in his group that we can put towards this, so we're going to make sure that they go and do the researching. And at the pace that they can do it with their group and the knowledge of the people in their group, right? Because if we come here and look at it, there's 26, 3.8, 6.9, 3.4, 9.3. That's how many points they have to add towards stuff on their researching. It will give us 2 days till they're done with it. We actually want it done quickly, so we're just going to have them do it till it's done. We're going to speed up time till we finish our first research here. I'll see you guys in a minute. So welcome back, everybody. We have completed the technology research for the bow. It's a big deal. It's very important to us. I might go as far as doing the improved bow, which increases its attack power by 2, but instead what we're going to do, just to make sure we can do stuff, is oh, actually we don't need to do that at all. I'm so simple-minded. Let's go over to gather here. We want to do grass planting. It's not over in the farming. We want to be able to plant grass. That way we can harvest grass. That way we have something to feed the wildlife. All right, now with that in mind, let's go over to corral over here. And we're going to go ahead and build our very first animal pen. Place to store all of the chickens that we're going to gather. And then we'll build another one for storing the sheep we're going to gather. We're going to put the door right here on both of them. Keep them close. Put the sheep trough right next to the door to reduce walking time. And the chicken trough, same thing. Just to make things faster for ourselves. And then I'm going to put a feeding bench over here too. And the feeding bench is going to allow us to make the stuff the animals need for their needs. And then we're going to go over to buildings here, and we're going to make a spot for storing stuff because we're gathering so many items. We don't have places to put things really just yet. Now that they've done everything that we needed them to do to make the bow, we're going to tell them to keep a stock. We're going to tell them to make 10 of them. We're going to put that top priority for stuff to craft. We'll put the work back how it was so we get some stuff during the day. Right, and we're done with that for now. We're now going to switch over to letting the women do some culture research for us. So we're going to come over here and then go over to culture and tech. And we're going to put a fertility cult site down. We'll also do a violent cult site. They're just giant research spots. And so under arms on the top of your screen, we can decide what kind of weapons people will use, the priority of them to have those weapons, armor equipment and such. It's based on who the leader of each group is. We're going to set everybody to use bows. And then we're going to go down to weapons, and we're going to build some training decoys over here. Yeah, they'll go and hide in bushes and do the deed, and eventually they'll get pregnant. I'm going to set the men to do weapon training for 3 hours a day, and attack speed for 3 hours a day, and critical hit training for 2 hours a day. We'll start making sure they know how to fight so we can go and raid. And so as they train, they slowly gain skills, kind of like they do in Kenshi, right? You can increase your weapon speed, your attack speed, and your critical hit all the way up to 1,000 each, right? So this is your proficiency. Looks like we're getting attacked by a rabid dire wolf, so this is a great time to talk to you guys about combat and how that works. So if we click on arms up here, I can click on this guy and it only selects him, right? So he'd come over here alone if I select him, and he's not set to attack yet. You press C on the keyboard and you see that what that does? He's all light up. So see, it says current under command. No, he's not. What we do is we select him, hold shift, and then select to here. And it's important to know if you do that and then select like that, it still selects everyone underneath the group. So we're going to go ahead and select this whole group, and now we're going to tell them to come over this way, and they're all going to attack this boyo for us. And not everybody has the weapons that they need to have yet, so they kind of ran up there to fight with the tools on hand, because we're still crafting the bows. Now, we've defeated our first foe in the game. Congratulations to us. Good stuff. We're going to go ahead and undraft everyone, let them go back to work. They're going to harvest this wolf, his meats, pelts, and leathers, and all that good stuff, and head back to base, where we will continue our routine of training our fighters and preparing everybody, because eventually what we're going to do is we're going to send them out to raid. And when we send them out to raid, we can capture the men and women of other villages and bring them back to our village as slaves to do work, labor for us. And when we have the slaves to do the labor, that frees up our people to continue training their physical combat abilities and researching technologies so we can build an ever-spanning empire, because this isn't a city builder, it's a game of conquest. So, as we go to the world map, we can see there's many other tribes out in the world here. Noobtopia is smushed right here between quite a few people. We have no quests available to us right now. I'll talk to you more about that later. There's some groups not part of any faction. And the important thing to keep track of is our influence over the world. And our influence is what's going to allow us to force our doctrine on other people. So down here we can see that the Plain Hill has a population of 12. If we successfully raid them, we'll get 1 male slave and 1 female slave, right? We'll gain 40 infamy from this, though, as well. And it's important to manage your infamy as you're raiding, because if it reaches 100, the peoples will form a coalition to come and beat you up because you're two violent wild animals living out in the wilderness and they need to stop you. So we can't quite raid them yet. It looks like we'll actually lose influence for messing with those dudes. We need more influence. Influence is determined based off of how much people you have, the weapons you have, the ability of those people. And so what we need to do is keep training our armies and building up our people's strength and our numbers and our wealth, and that will increase our influence that we can then exert around the game world. So let's speed up time here, let it run away. We're going to go ahead and destroy this, so I'll start storing stuff indoors. We're also going to go to work here and add husbandry to the work the women are doing. So they'll go and bring animals in here when they're able to. Right now we need to make food for the animals. We can do that at the feeding bench here, and we can specifically feed them grass. And we want to keep a stack of 120 animal feed, because that's how much both of these can hold at full capacity. And so they'll start doing that tomorrow. The men will make all the animal feed, and the women will go out and capture the sheeps and chickens and bring them back to be our food, our livestock. And so, you see, as we see down the bottom right, there's animals without a corral. They can't get a corral until these are done, right? And so we're still waiting on more of the animal feed to be made. Right now we have 15. We need 30 to finish each one. And we want to hurry up and do a raid before anybody actually gets pregnant, because then we'll have less people that can fight when that happens. So if we go to the world map, we've continued to train, and it looks like now instead of getting minus 20 if we're victorious, now it's 8.5. As they train, this number is changing. See, as our men train, because you can hear them fighting in the background, doing their practicing. So it slowly improves over time as we increase our own ability. We're going to head up to the schedule here, though, and we need 2 more hours of work in the day. So we'll actually split it up like that. Amazing. That's what we like to see. I'm going to set the auto butcher over here, which you can find on the bottom left after animals have been brought in. So we can manage the max amount of animals in each trough. So we want to have 3 full-grown males and 10 full-grown females at any time. And we'll set those as maximums. There's no maximum for children of the youth animals. And it looks like our food stores are actually increasing, which looks good. And for a time being, we're going to set them to straight work once again, because stuff's falling behind. Kind of tough to manage a little bit, but I think we're in the positive almost for this too. Yeah, we just need to get those last few bows made. Now everybody's training their bows up. This is getting good. We should be in the positive now, right? Yeah, we are. So the time has come. We're gonna go take some people's stuff away. Hopefully we're really good at it. All right, let us prepare a raid. We're gonna send literally everybody. We have enough food, so it's not a big deal. And the expedition begins. Everybody's gonna get up and take their weapons and leave. Follow the line to the edge of the map, and off they go. This is the biggest part of the game that you have to get used to doing quickly and early on. Other villages are going to do this, and they're going to grow too quick for you, and eventually they're going to say, hey, you look like you got people there, and I could use those to build my village and my altars and my own prosperity. And then they'll raid you and kill all your dudes and take all your women and children and then put them as slaves in their base. And since you don't want that to happen to you, you got to go do it to them. Eventually you do it so much that you take over the whole world, which is your end goal for the game. You want to be big, the big dude, the big Conquest that takes over everything and conquers the whole world and rules it all. So our expeditionary unit's almost there. They've nearly arrived. Looks like we're fighting a bunch of spearmen. We're gonna do this fight manually. So we're gonna spear the first guy to death. Move this guy back because he's taking too much damage. And by picking them off one by one and protecting our weak, we definitely defeated them all. So now we get to go home, because only the strong get to survive, and we get to keep 2 of them as new free labor. We gained 40 infamy, and the opponent's population is decreased by 50%. Only the strong survive. So now if we look at their people's place here, right, as our people leave, we'll speed up time real quick. You can see they have 6 people now. Before they had 12, so half their people is dead. If we attack them again, we won't get any people to just be dead. It's not helpful for us, so we'll let them sit there and continue to do their thing. People we would attack next would be over here, where we can get 2 more fighters, but we have injured after that battle, so we can't go for too long. At most, we want to raid 2 times this year before the winter hits. And then we'll have a good source of labor going into the following year. And we'll have enough people sitting in our village that other people won't want to attack us because it's just too many to deal with. The more people we have, the more babies will be born. The more babies will be born, the more eventual adult laborers you have. Because in times like this, people is labor, and labor is the biggest commodity of all, and we need lots of labor. So if we take a look at everyone, you have a calf fracture that probably hurts a lot, and you're actually bleeding actively, right? And so how we deal with this, right, is we tell them to go and take care of themselves automatically. He's gonna go take a potion. Is anybody else bleeding on the ground where they stand? No, but people are injured. So to heal people, you need to feed them food that increases their vitality. So let's head on over to the intellectual food learning up here. And we have meals for vitality and meals for intelligence. We want to teach people how to cook food that makes them have more health, right? Want food for vitality. So let's do that. Let's head over to the schedule here. And we have those new free workers here, right? These guys. We're actually going to go to followers here. And we're going to tell this guy here, he's the new leader of the group. You're going to leave that group. We're going to confirm leaders. We're going to make a new leader. That new leader is going to be Thilger here. And the 2 new laborers here will do work. And he's going to be in charge of a large swath of laborers going forward, right? So now we can head over to the schedule. We can see that these guys are set to do culture activities. They're not going to do any of that. They're going to labor forever and ever and ever. We're going to go to the work here. And right now they're set to crafting and gathering. And crafting and gathering is pretty good for what we have them doing right now. But we also want them to do husbandry, which I guess we'll leave out of the mix for now because we need more of them. We need a lot more of them. But this is good for now. And now we can go to the schedule and we can say, hey, I want this group of people to research technology for a bit. And we're not super duper worried about it because when we go look at craft and gather, there's 3 people assigned to it. And up here, there's just 4 people doing it. So instead, they're going to train and do technology for weapons forever now. And this group of ever-increasing slaves is going to do the gathering, labor, crafting, construction in the colony. So our people can increase their intelligence, become stronger, more powerful, and conquer the world. And we're building up this workforce underneath that'll maintain and grow our populace. Now, we did finish the work for figuring out how to do farming, right? So we do a forest farm. We're actually going to do it right behind the animals here. And occupancy 60. That's pretty good for me. And over here, we're going to grow grass. So we're going to go to the work here. And when they're not doing crafting and gathering, they're going to go and plant grass. Now, something else I forgot to mention is when you start having slaves in the colony, they actually need a place to eat. So we're going to go to the crafting, and we're going to build a slave pot over here. And what this does is the slaves will gather around it for food. They'll eat it. They'll eat here. Then they'll also use the space to kind of keep warm. So we'll get that a roof here soon. 51 days, holy crap, that's going to take forever. Maybe there's something we can switch them to do in agriculture that'll finish a bit quicker. Yeah, it looks like this will finish quite a bit faster, in half the time, in fact. Let's cancel that too. Let's do flying bear training. Yeah, 12 days sounds way more reasonable. Looks like we have a sick down here. Nice. So we're going to head on over to this, and we're going to tell them we want them to keep a stock of 50 meals for our people's vitality. And then we're going to go back to this tech over here, crafting specifically. We're going to tell them, hey, we want you to make this bow even better. In fact, we can sit there a little bit longer. So we can improve weapons as we go along by having the same people that researched it before keep working on it, improving it. You can have other people do it too, but people who've been researching well are going to research faster and faster and faster. This technology keeps going until eventually under Gather, you've unlocked copper tools. Copper mining, then copper tools. You come back here and then research copper weapons, and then eventually get up to bronze weapons. You can research building castle walls, stuff like that. It gets really cool, really fun. Eventually we're going to research the solar room here so we can give people houses to stay in. We can put up some walls. Because eventually we're going to just have to start raiding people so much to get so many more laborers that they're going to want to attack us. But if we build up our defenses properly, it won't be our problem at all. Quite a few male chickens here, so they're going to go in there and slaughter some of those for us. And if we go to work... Right, it's time to go gather that next group of people. Looks like we need to stock up some food first. I think people are getting pretty good at the training by now. Yeah, everyone's vitality is improving from eating the better food. What a difficulty. It looks like some people have gotten pregnant ahead of us doing our second raid. That's unfortunate. They can't go fight when they're pregnant. Right, so it's winter. The women don't actually have as much to keep them busy during the day anymore, so we're going to increase the time spent on culture research. For the men, we're going to spend their time spent doing technology research. We've got a rabid direwolf here, so we're going to call our boys to arms here. Tell them to come and defeat this thing. We're going to go for leather, which is something I haven't done before. But for now, let's grind up getting our chickens to be a bit bigger, get a bit more meat from them. Because eventually we want to not have to put so much effort into sustaining our food supply. We want to be able to go out and do the things that we need to do without too much work. So the children is born. This group's probably had kids. Still insufficient food. Takes a while to build up our food supplies, doesn't it? Alright, it's a long delay, but we pick up where we left off. So we got 25 weapons. Everybody's skills seems to be doing good. If I take just a gander at them all in the training level. Alright, in order to prepare for battle, I'm going to go ahead and switch everybody to doing food. I know, it's kind of, this turns into a let's play after the whole introductory training of how to play is done. So we're going to switch everybody over to labor. and we're just going to get lots of work done. It's a strange thing. You have these hours of the day you can schedule people to work, but they're not actually awake at these hours. At least it doesn't seem to be. We can technically tell the time if we build a sundial. I can go ahead and do that. Put down a sundial so we know what time it is. Have everybody just slaughter a bunch of animals in the morning and make a bunch of meat. Alrighty, we've saved up enough food. We're off to our second raid. It's year 2. On our way to the sand swamp. Gonna steal your people so they can gather berries for me. I like berries. Oh yes, berries. 8 versus 9. We have much more combat power than them though, because we train all the time. They have 666 combat power in total training, and we have 1,800. So we're gonna manual battle this. Oh my gosh, why are you so sick? What's wrong with you? You're not even close to being in good health. You've nearly died of illness. That's awful. Okay, well, everybody's gonna line up right here. We're gonna put you in the back where no one's gonna touch you. You poor soul. Shoot that one first. That one second. Move you back. No, back off. Yeah, singling out one opponent at a time is the best way to avoid casualties in this game. And we win. All of our enemies are dead. Eventually we need to get ourselves some blockers. Only the strong survive, as always, and we get 2 people. So next up, we need to prepare to indoctrinate these people and eventually force them to join us. Indoctrination is we send envoys over to them to basically tell them, hey, do what we say, do what we want, become us. Part of that is getting them to pay us tribute all the time, and then another part of it is eventually having them join us as a territory, but we need to have certain prerequisites completed. It's nice though. It's nice though. We're up to 17 people. We have 2 male and 2 female slaves, 2 male babies, 1 female baby, no male or female children, and no male or female elders, but we have 5 male and 5 female adults, right? So we have all 10 of our starting people, 2 infants, male, and 1 infant female of our original group. There's 3 that were pregnant a while ago, and then we have the 2 male and 2 female slaves. Looks like we have an epidemic of gastroenteritis. People have the stomach sickness. If I remember correctly, some people are pregnant again as well. So what's going to happen here when our groups get back is we're actually going to have to take a moment, split up our groups, assign new leaders, and begin specialization of tasks, right? So remember at the start of the video I said if you do everything, you do awful. If you do one thing, you do it well. We're going to have to develop groups of people that do things well. A child is born, 2 of them. Well, there you go. So now we're up to 19. So do we have any female children? Oh, wonderful. We got 3 female children and 2 male children. So far through all my playing, I haven't seen any sign of partners sticking together. So they kind of all just breed incoherently, which sounds awful, but it's good for growing the group because everybody's just breeding everybody. everybody's having the best fun of their lives in the bushes. Somewhere in the video we have a point where they were in the bushes. Yeah, so we're gonna have a group dedicated to husbandry, a group dedicated to crafting, and then a group dedicated to husbandry and farming. So there'll be 4 groups, and then we'll kind of split doing food and gathering and picking up and gathering herbs among everybody, right? Potion brewing is really important. We don't generally need potions all the time. I could be wrong. That might be one of my greatest failings in this game. I haven't had too many issues with it. Who's sick? They're on their way back. Dislocated shoulder and a finger injury. At least we can recover that though. But being at 22 health is terrifying. Oh, it went down to 21. So this is worse. Cora is slowly dying. We need to work on increasing her vitality quickly. My word, please don't die, Cora. Oh, went up to 4, so they're getting it from their meals, but they're still injured. So how do we fix it? We have traumatic drugs. That boosts them up to 42. They still have a finger injury, so they need another traumatic potion. Boosts up to 66. Much better. Much, much better. You are at an ideal temperature and getting healed by food. Good health. Good health. Good health. Good health. Good health. Not great health. Can you take a traumatic drugs? No, you're fine for the most part. And so we actually need more beds now. Children have been born. There's kind of room for them actually. So we're actually just going to extend this out a little bit, not too much. It's not that crazy. And then we're going to go to furniture here and just kind of let the beds keep going, because it doesn't need to be fancy. Why would it need to be fancy? It's fine with just this. And like I said, they're back. We need to finally assign new leaders, right? This is really important. So we need somebody to manage these workers down here, and we kind of technically have you assigned to manage them at the moment. So we'll confirm that. That's a group of 2. And then we'll remove you from that group, right? And let's see who has followers here. And then we'll give you a group of 2 as well. And so that gives us 4 groups to manage here. And so you guys will stay on crafting and farming. We'll take you off of gathering, even though you're really, really good at it, because it's time for someone else to get really good at it. We're going to take this group down here who does nothing but husbandry and leave him that way with his group. And then we're going to have this group here, Thielser, who's going to be in charge of herbs and then hauling, yeah? And then these guys up here will handle crafting and farming. There's only 1 crafting spot, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Now, it's finally time to get into the really messy bit of stuff. We've been looking at the simple menu this whole time, but sometimes stuff on the right I want done first faster than I want stuff done on the left. Like, hey, I do want you guys to do animal husbandry, but I would also like to tell you to pick stuff up, right? Because there's stuff that needs to be hauled, but I don't want that done first, because it'll never get happen. So we're going to go to the detailed view here. And if you played RimWorld, you've seen this before. This is some pretty clear stuff. You've probably seen it a bunch of times. We're going to tell these guys that we want them to prioritize butchering first. And so engraving is a really cool thing that we're going to get into soon. In fact, it's a big part that comes out of all this micromanaging everybody to have really good individual skills, because we want them to pass on that knowledge. You guys are going to do animal husbandry first of all kinds, and you'll haul stuff around for me second. In fact, you'll go get, then this guy up here, he's going to do an herbs of first and pick up a second, which works fine for us. And then these guys, we're going to have them tend the farms first and then do a crafting second. So we're going to actually put these farms all the way up at number 1. There we go. And then when we're out of time for all that stuff, we're actually have them go help gathering. We're going to put gathering at a number 4 for everyone. So whenever anybody doesn't have anything to do, they're going to go help gather resources. This is more balance for us. This is going to give us a better use of everyone's time. And it's also going to allow us to better get stuff done without having to be too crazy about how we're getting everything done. So we're going to build another tech spot so we can get more technology done here. In fact, are you working with the slaves? Yeah, so you're just going to work. Never mind. There we go. So we have broiler breeding, and then we also want to say, hey, we want to get better at gathering skills, right? We need a second site for this. It's not going to let us split it. There you go, devs. That's something you can do for me. Haha. Noobert request. Maybe they'll actually do it. I'd like to be able to assign more than one to a site, and instead it's like the technology's worked on based on who's doing what. And then it'll let us build our bases more compact, because this isn't really a game about building anyways. So if we can make the base more compact, that makes sense. I know it's weird to say it's not a game about building, but it's not. It's about conquest. You can build, but if it's a game about building, you have more stuff you could use to build, and you don't. So while we're here, though, we'll go ahead and say, hey, we got to do some finger counting. I need a logic cult site. Okay. Well, you know what? It's a fertility site. Let's go to production here, reproduction here. There we go. Now we're going to start having children soon. Pretty soon. And children need to learn. And what we can do to teach them, right, is we build a storytelling spot. And within that storytelling spot, we can engrave on these stone tablets here all the learnings of the elders before they pass away. So this is kind of a way of putting everything on paper. And so what we'll do for the start is we'll put 4 of these down, 1 in each corner. You don't need this many, but I just think it looks nice. They'll put all that down. Build some graves in case people start dying. It's good to have around, right? It's like we don't have any heads of our enemies to put up on things. There's more stuff to talk about later. Like I said, we're taking this all the way. Don't worry. Anything that seems like it wasn't explained enough now, we'll get to it later. If I try to explain everything too much all at once, it's just going to be too overwhelming. I mean, if I thought this game had a way huger following, like huge like RimWorld has, we would go down and make like 80 tutorial videos for it. So this video is kind of on top of being brought to us by the devs, a way of testing this audience as well. So don't worry, There's a good chance there'll be more of it. I mean, this game has immense potential. So, all right, so let's go ahead and go through everybody here. These locusts will destroy all our crops. They actually just beeline your crops and ruin them. We don't want to deal with that, so we're going to get rid of them all. What's your deal? Why is your health so low? We need a raincoat. Okay, so let's come down to crafting over here. The weaver's tape bench. And just throw one down. Dang, we're running out of room to build buildings. So I'm going to put it right here for now. And then go to buildings and build another shed right here. And we're going to start building people some clothes. So it looks like people are having... Continuously soak is bringing down health. So yeah, just being wet is making people ill. That's no good. Hopefully they dry off. Start feeling better. That would be some good stuff. All right, it looks like everybody's taking a medicine. That's good stuff. Do we have anybody set to herbs right now? We do. Okay. We're going to send this group to indoctrinate them. We'll see them again soon. Indoctrination is really important. It's the process of getting them to join us and become part of our group. As these guys kind of close in around us, we really need to make ourselves a path to expansion, because eventually we're just going to have nowhere to go and be screwed. And that's bad. As you can see, we have territorial friction with everyone that's touching our border, which is no good. And Flying Bear critical hit training efficiency increased by 20%. That's always good. And we've done that as well. That's very good. So we're going to improve our attack speed training again. Looks like the eagle is still under research. Then we're going to go to our tech tree research and designate a group here. Let's do you. Alrighty. Slowly just grind away all that technology. I'm actually really bad at doing this because technically when you pick a group, right? So like, let's cancel this real quick. If we're picking a group for the felling skills, we can see total points here. So technically Pearl's group is the best. They have the most points in this because they have the most gathering. And if we come up here and look at schedule or work, right, we can see Pearl's group has a decent gathering about, yeah. So they're going to be there for a day. They'll be indoctrinating them for a day, and they'll be coming back soon. It takes a day because they have to spend time there talking to their people, getting to know them better. Our influence has increased because we spread the ideals and culture that we have to their people plus 19. They're on their way back. We can prepare indoctrination again. Send another group. Set out. Confirm. So that first group's on their way back, while the second group's on their way there. And we'll let time pass, and we're just going to spend this whole year in game indoctrinating these people, repeating this cycle, while also maintaining a steady supply of food. We're eventually going to need to get more people and get into farming. Farming is just going to be really incredible for food supplies. I think people have eventually begun putting stuff down here. No, they haven't. So let's go ahead and say, hey, write down all your crafting stuff. And they're going to go engrave stuff in the stones, what they're good at and stuff like that. And we can go further with this. This is the mentorship tab over here. If you followed what I took to get here, I'm bad at explaining right now. Sorry. You click this button down here, the scroll, you'll click that, and then you click mentor up here on the top. And it shows you all these different things people can do. When you have children in the colony, they'll be selectable here individually, and you can tell them who you want to have mentor them. Right now, we got to pick who's going to be in charge of teaching people to craft. Right now, our best crafter is Norgar with 51 points. We want him to engrave his crafting knowledge on the wall. And then we have our best gatherer is Thuger. We're going to have them teach the kids how to gather. He'll engrave what he knows on the wall. Nobody knows how to fish. Fishing's a waste of time right now. We're not going to bother with that. Moving on. The next most important thing is choosing a mentor for animal husbandry, which is Pearl. Pearl's very good at this. It's important to keep in mind that only one person can teach any one thing at a time, but you can still have the slaves share their knowledge with you. So don't give up on them for their usefulness. And only one can do one thing at a time. So you see how we just switched Pearl away from husbandry, right? It takes her off of food, all that stuff. So someone has to do food that's not Pearl, Brelka. And then finally, someone needs to teach them how to manage gathering herbs. Brelka can't do it, even though Brelka's good at many things. So this is an important thing. You need to split up the knowledge in the colony because one person can't teach everyone everything and they'll die with the knowledge. So now, we pick the mentors. It's all decided, all determined. In the day, they're going to come over here and carve it on the rocks, what they know. Finished indoctrinating some more. We're going to let the chickens live for half a year each. Sheep will be 1 whole year. Their cohesion's still at minus 0.5. We're going to send out to indoctrinate them one more time. Go back to our farming here, and this is where we're going to need to start learning how to actually farm. So we're going to learn how to cultivate wild millet, right? This is going to be really important. We're going to have to start growing our own food. It's going to be a big deal for us. Luckily, nobody wants to attack us right now. Our infamy isn't too wild. And so we can kind of not worry too much about keeping loads of warriors around every day. We haven't even trained anybody in a while. You guys have probably noticed that. Yes, the enemy continues to train. Eventually they're just going to be stronger than us. So hopefully slowly we can kind of build ourselves up to being stronger. One of the children is finally an adult, which means they need a mentor. So you see Gruick here needs a mentor. We want to teach, more important than anything, we want to teach her about food. It finally happens. I speak of his name and he shall appear. This is like Randy Random. Driven by envy of our prosperity, Boy Pooh's hunger for territory and slaves grows uncontrollable. Today, they finally sent this message. Your chieftain is but a weakling coward. Your women exist only for our pleasure. Only the strong deserve these lands. Your tribe is destined for annihilation. We will feed your blood to the earth. So we have nothing else to say to them, but our one response here, show me how sharp your spears really are. Right, so not much else we can do. This is Baipu. Baipu actually has quite a few people. There's 9 people here and 19 people here. So hopefully they don't actually send a huge force. We won't be able to do much for that. What we can do is say, hey, these guys, we're all training them on arms and armor. Maybe it's better we have a few groups of people learning how to use shield weapons. And then we can come back to our schedule here and say, hey, maybe we spend an hour doing weapons training at the end of every day. Not a big deal, but it's worth it. Very good stuff. Now we want to be able to haul stuff around a bit better, so we'll have this guy do that. Technically, we can only teach them one thing at a time unless we have multiple places to teach them, so we're actually going to have them all learn about crafting collectively today for a while. So we need to get rid of some of these moodlets that are making people upset. We're going to make them hats to keep them dry from the rain. Alright, so the sled's going to help us haul a lot of stuff around and save a great deal of time. Alright, so a quick glance over everything. We have the 2 groups. Here they have their schedules as ordered. These are both slave groups. Okay, work's organized pretty good. We're gonna have this guy number 1 butcher. This one's in number 1 herding. This one's in number 1 picking stuff up. And is anybody prioritizing cooking here? Yeah, we're gonna prioritize the citizens cook pot first. Feed the slaves last. And seems like everybody's got hats. We have the extra hats we need. On crafting, we have enough bows. We have enough rope. We have enough flint axe. Not enough flint blade. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over here and actually make some more copies of these crafting buildings. I'll put another feeding bench over here too. Basically so more than one person can do any of these tasks at a time. Because right now we only have a few hours a day that anyone can craft something and there's only one spot to do it, which means out of the 20 people we have, only one person can do it. Then I'm going to come over here. We're going to go to corral. We're going to go to fence here. We're actually going to expand this corral just a bit because I decided yesterday when we were recording that I wanted to increase the number of animals in these corrals, right? And so right now, yeah, see it's overcrowded. The effects are really lowered by 92%. We don't like that. That's no good. That's bad for business right there. So we're going to try to remedy that a bit. In fact, we'll probably expand the corrals out this way eventually. And then we're going to start work on a walled city as we get more aggressive with kidnapping people as time goes on. Let's go ahead and take a moment to look at everyone's health, see how they're doing since we got them all laying down. And devs, if you're watching this, I don't know if there's a hotkey to quickly switch between everybody, like comma and period or something, but that would be stellar. I would love to have that. This dude's still naked. Looks like we got to make more standard clothing. We're going to have to research that or just purchase it. I mean, we could probably trade with people. Let's see here. Let's invite them to trade. So a trade invitation basically says, hey, we want to buy your stuff. Why don't you come on over here and we will purchase some of your stuff. We have a lot of bows sitting around. Let me check and see how many exactly weapons. Click up here. We have 12 bows sitting around. So we're going to come up here. Bows sell for a lot of money. And we have a lot of people, so we're actually increased the number of bows we're keeping by quite a bit. We got the water right here, so I'll probably just keep the village right here, but and eventually we'll build right here. I can't clear this out. I know this game's not about building, but it would be convenient. Right, so they're going to make their way over here and then kind of set up a bonfire and wait for us to want to buy anything from them. So I'll speed that up. There you go. There it is. Apparently they can sit on it before it's there, but that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and click on one of these guys, and then this button appears on the bottom left. We can click go to trade, and it brings up this cool exchange menu. And here we can see on the right what they have for sale, and on the left what we can buy. What we can sell. Right now, they do not have the stuff we want to buy. They got a lot of seashells. They got a lot of wild flax as well. Actually, you know what? We do want your flax. Give me all of that, and that's worth 520. Looks like they're willing to buy our livestock as well. I like turning it into meat. It's kind of a lot of work to make so many animals, so we're going to keep those around. We do have a lot of herbs though, so we will sell them 3 of each. And the difference 5. And this is all bartering and stuff. I haven't seen witness of us keeping coins around, so we're just trying to match it as evenly as we can. Maybe they have stuff worth a little bit of money. They have seashells, so we'll take a few of those. It's an item for trade, not a huge thing, but we'll take that. That's pretty good. And we're pretty much done with these guys. We need to find someone else to trade with. We're gonna go ahead and speed up time. It's nice to get that flax though. We're gonna be able to use that flax to make clothes for everybody. Have less naked people. It's always a good sign. So crafting bench number 2 is right here. I'm gonna go here and I can click copy right here. Then come back over to my crafting bench and just paste that in. Brings everything over. Looks like someone is wanting to attack us. Oh, it's the same guys as before. They're gonna send 2 guys with bone rods and wooden shields and 2 guys with flint spears. Or 1 guy with flint spears. So they're gonna die when they get here. We're not really worried about that. They're insane. There's 20 people here. But yeah. Alright, so we have successfully crafted the eagle. So male's likelihood of impregnating a woman has gone up by 1%. We can then move on and say, hey, this is the next one. There you go. Farmland's continuing, so it'll be real cool once we're able to work farmland. There we go. Increasing slave capture is just really good for business. Have their goods changed at all? No, they haven't. And they don't have any slaves to sell us either. That's the other thing I was hoping for. They're very expensive, like 3,000. But it looks to be that that's not what we're going to get from them today. That's fine though. Over time, you're constantly going to be adjusting the hours on these schedules to get research moving along, but also to get work done in the colony. As you gather more slaves and your population grows, you'll be able to diversify what tasks people are working on. I think we talked about this earlier in the video, where you're just going to need more leaders to organize the groups and get things more specialized. So crafting stuff's been written down so far. We're going to switch it to gathering. We're going to go to mentor and tell all the kids to go learn about gathering from whoever's teaching that. I wish the people assigned a mentor just write on the stones whenever. You didn't have to have individual one of these storytelling points, because right now you need to have 7 of them, all set to the different ones all the time, if you want to have a variety of things being taught. Well, 2 wolves are attacking. Hardly a concern to us. We are quite powerful. Not a big deal. And in fact, we might as well test all of our strength on this one. Continuously soak. Yeah, it's no good being in the rain all the time. So one of the next technologies we're going to research is actually how to build dirt walls and roofs, so we can actually start building proper structures and get things organized. And we'll actually build that adjacent to where we are right here and kind of tear all this down and move everything into it, because we can make it organized. Because how far people have to walk to do things is going to affect how much they get done all the time, and we want to be closer to the resources we're using often as well. And then that leaves a space next to the water where we built right now open to putting farmland there, so before we have wells, it's a very quick trip to the water. So we're going to go to the view the creation tree here, and we're going to go over to crafting, and we're going to click soil room here, and what that's going to unlock is soil walls, doors, roofs, and wooden boards. Right? And so we're going to go ahead and research that. We're going to designate that to be done. And after we've done researching that, right, we can actually go ahead and start reaching like city walls and wooden furniture, council halls, which I actually haven't used yet, so I'll do my best to explain that one. We'll figure that one out together as we go into the deep, dark depths of this game. Children without a mentor, so someone else has grown into child. Something else very important, we can go to resources here, and we can designate what the base amounts of resources we want to keep around are for different things. How much stuff we want to hold on to of everything, and how much of that's important to us. I'd like us to hold on to 100 stone, 500 wood is pretty good, 1,000 branches and 1,000 grass is pretty good as well. I don't think we'll burn that very quickly. Then you can go to production, and we have the crafting priorities. The pottery kiln is number 1, the crafting bench number 2. And so we can kind of tell people which order to go to these buildings. So we can say, hey, we want to use all the crafting benches first, because crafting right now, when you say crafting, they just do any crafting building. So we can more specifically control it from here. We can also organize which farms get farmed first, which fisheries fish first, which animals are managed first, right? So like we can say, hey, products priority, sheep corral, chicken corral, feeding bench, sheep bench, and stuff like that, right? And I would say the butchering and the chicken corral has got to happen the fastest, because chickens, there's so freaking many chickens. And of course we have leader team order. The bottom 2 guys are keeping slaves, so we keep them at the bottom. That way we can stay organized with who our folks are and not get too confused on that. If we look up here, I'm very excited because we actually have 5 children going to become adults soon, and it'll give us 5 more laborers, because children don't do anything for us. It's hard to deal with the combat in the winter though, so hopefully we can deal with this year 2 winter quickly. We'll have them help with food and stuff when they're not working with the animals. That sounds like a really good compromise for us. I'm going to go ahead and copy these tasks over to this one real quick. And I want the crafting where to get done quickly, that way we don't have much issue maintaining our other supplies of resources. 3 more people are pregnant, and some of the sheep have passed away of their old age. Winter is so brutal in this game. I want our warriors to be the strongest, that's why we keep training them all the time. Let's go on to the schedule here. We're going to temporarily make this really important and make sure we can start making people clothes, because I don't want people dying of the cold. So we're going to crafting, and we're just going to rush our way into having flax clothing. It'll take us a day to finish it. The reason these guys haven't really died yet is because we've been maintaining them with a lot of good clothes. A lot of the sheep in here are just passing away because they're old. This is very old sheep. They've been around for a while. I mean, how old is this sheep? Yeah, see, cause of death, old age. I don't know why, but these keep disabling themselves. Every time I load a save, the devs can look into that probably. Well, that just brought in a ton of meat, and we're going to give them medicine. Alrighty, let's head on over to the technology again, and we want them to do wild flax clothing. Looks like we actually lost somebody. That's probably that guy actually did freeze to death. Oh, we're doing our best to resolve it. Alrighty, come on, come on, come on. Alright, sweet, that's done. And that brings us up to where we need to be for making the most basic amount of clothes. We'll keep a stock of 5 shirts. We'll also keep a stock of 5 men's clothes. And then we'll keep a stock of 5 pants. And we'll take some time to make all this, but we're going to go ahead and place 2 more of these buildings to get them put down. We have so much leather sitting around, I believe, right now. We're going to head back onto the schedule and put all those guys back to work. So we're now making the clothes that we need, finally. Takes them a little bit of time to make the clothes, but they're getting it done. It's a slow process. All of the first group, the largest group, they're going to finish crafting everything before they move on to building stuff. But we do need more workers, so we're going to have to send them off to gather some fighters for us. Let's go ahead and send them out. They're bringing us sheep for food. So I have 4 babies and 5 children. So that means half the colony is just people that can't do much of anything. They're coming in autumn, so we're in spring. They'll come at the end of the year. Almost there. Wow, I didn't realize I'm having so many. These guys are all dead meat. Yeah, we ain't fighting that. They'll all be dead. They've trained every last one of their people to shoot a bows. We need more fighters. Everybody come on home. Alright, we're going to head over to the research while we have our people going out and trying to get the other dudes to like us a bit more. We're going to go ahead and start research on the altar. These guys don't have any hours scheduled to work on this at the moment. I think it's Theodore here. So we're going to set him to 3 hours on technology. We'll actually do it for everybody because everybody can do a little bit of tech for us. All right, sweet. Good stuff. Go back here. I believe our group's on the way back. Yeah, because they were going to get their butts handed to them, and we can't handle losing so many people. So we'll let them come on home, and we're going to begin work on the Great Construction. We're actually going to deconstruct that. Oh, it just disappears. The Great Construction, that's going to be the inner part of what's going to be a big base for us. We're going to have everything kind of come into a center here so it's more defensible. And we're just going to start out by building 1 big room. We'll put some windows on it. We'll end up breaking this up a bit later. This first bit we're going to use for food storage. We'll put a door right here. This next bit we're going to use for general storage. And we're going to put a door right here. We'll probably have a little bit of crafting in here as well. Then right here, we'll have the general works. People will be working, right? And then, this room will probably be beds, but we'll probably need more beds later as well. So we're going to let them just get this work done first because that's a ton. Eventually we're going to have to move these pastures. We got people that are bored, huh? What are you assigned to do? Neglect. Animal husbandry and farming if you can, but other than that, it's nothing. We're going to let you do a cool little bit called gathering when you got the time for it. Alright, we're going to head back over here, and we're actually going to deconstruct parts of these corrals here. So let's go to buildings and destroy a building, and we'll break the inner fence here. We need to rebuild our supplies of animals. Now, something cool about rooms is when rooms are constructed, putting certain buildings inside of them will give you benefits, right? So like you can have a room become a granary or a bedroom and such and such and such, and they get benefits from having those designs. Like for example here, right? If we go to the violence here, the slave room, right? It has to be enclosed by walls and at least one door and have a slave pot in the middle. That means they'll keep the slaves inside. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, anybody that sleeps outside on the ground is going to be cold in the winter and get wet and stuff like that, and they slowly lose their life capacity and get closer and closer to death until they're dead. I forgot to put a door on this one. Alright, so now we can put a roof on this, just like that. You actually build up once you unlock wood floors and build multiple floors of these buildings. For now, we're just going to put the hay roof up there and call it a day. Now, if we have it already, which I believe we do, oh, I actually don't. So we don't have a storage for food or anything yet. That's plenty of room. Well, we'll do one more row. Obviously, you can do this neater, but it's not that big a deal to me. So, weapons and armors and stuff. The reason that we're going to store lots of weapons is because I want to be able to sell them for resources. And then we'll have our general storage of things, which will take up a good deal of space just on the floor in here. And of course, like I said, granary. So we'll have some meat drying racks here. And this is so that they have a place to store these when they're not using them. We're going to give them all sleds so they can carry more stuff. See, they're actually getting along pretty well building those roofs. Sweet. Now we can go to our view our creation tree. And you have the council hall here, which is some cool stuff on its own. We're actually not near enough to using that yet. Yeah, we do want city walls though. We need to find someone we can take some peoples from that's not too many to fight. These guys have 9 people, so we're actually going to prepare a raid on them. Well, they don't have enough people for us to take, and then the other one's 19. Doesn't help us very much. Invasion from the Bajput tribe. We need to have 400 influence over them, so our strength needs to be even greater. Yep, they're filling up these racks with weapons as they get them. Slowly it's all becoming done. 5 people wet in the rain. Happens. It's hard to find good times to go do raiding because we have too many of our members are pregnant. This is really funny because they barely sent anybody to attack us. But I believe that's just because they don't really have anybody at their nearest village because they're all dead because of their other failed attacks on people. So we're just going to go ahead and get the gang together. And these guys down here are just straight up in trouble. Looks like they're still using really simple weapons, and their training is very minimal too, compared to our guys who have a slightly better training. We've kept them weapons training forever, so they're very good at using their weapons. But this brings us to a new thing, since we have dead people here that aren't our people. Something that's quick to learn, right, is that we don't bury the enemy in this game. We burn them at the pyre. So we actually need to build a pyre to get rid of our enemies. So let's go and figure out where that's at. Yeah, right here. Let's see, which side do we want to build the altar on? We'll probably build the altar right here. So we'll build the pyre kind of adjacent to the altar, where the altar is going to be. Altar is really big. 5 across there. We'll do that for our altar base. Yeah, good stuff. That's going to take a crap ton of clay and forever to build, so let them get to it. I don't believe we have any injured here. Yeah, so slaves can't fight, so it's important to make sure that you don't leave too many of your main population inside of the working groups, because you want them to be in parts of the groups that are getting trained all the time, that are gaining valuable skills and stuff. 1 child without a mentor. We're doing crafting right now, so you go ahead and learn that crafting. Alright, so the first bit's done. I want my altar to be tall. That's just me, though. This is just a big worship structure. We'll build war totems up on our altar, and then graves for our dead. Magnificent altar will be built. Yes, yes. As they get more corpses and stuff, we'll build up the altar, of course. Yeah, but this is it for now. It's pretty cool. So, altar's a big deal, right? I should explain this first. Your altar gives you more prestige, right? The more fancy it is, the more there is to it, and it helps increase the cohesion of all the slaves and other groups of people that are becoming part of your group, right? So that's how big they can get it for now. Looks like some of the workers are running out of work to do. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and build a building to put the other workers in, and we'll put it right next to here. We're going to throw a door on that. We're not going to bother with any windows because they don't need to see out of it. It's not helpful. We'll put a slave pot right in the middle and they'll go sleep in there at night. As for other stuff, we'll build 1, 2, 3 weaver's benches. 1, 2, 3 crafting benches. 1 pottery kiln. 1, 2 herbal benches. And eventually we want to move this inward. So you can kind of see the space that this is going to take up as they build it. And we'll be moving everybody out from being outdoors to being inside. So these are all the different rooms. Conditions for being enclosed by walls. At least 1 door needed. At least 1 slave pot. Need to create a culture slave room. Did I do that already? Ah, we didn't do it yet. So we have prestige value 0 because it's not at an altar. We need to increase our prestige. I'm very excited that we get to build city walls now. It's a big deal to me. Then we're going to construct some stuff for the training down here. Not easy to make it this far in the game. Glad that we have. Now you guys can see why we train everybody to archers. We throw them up on the walls, defend us while we try to expand. Slip our way back on over to furniture here. Oh, beautiful. View creation tree. Let's go get some people. So through this raid, we're going to capture 2 female slaves, but we're going to gain some infamy as well. Not the best, maybe. It'd be much better to raid these guys, but we need more warriors. We need to develop ourselves some armor and probably get better weapons. Yeah, we've got this. Let's do a manual battle. Alright, slow this down a lot. Let's all focus on this guy first. This guy second, this guy next, this guy next, and there's 1 left. So we've killed a whole bunch of them. We get to return home. We get 2 slaves, only the strong survive, and the opponent's population is reduced by 50%. Expedition will be returning soon. We're up to 26 people now. This is getting pretty good. This housing actually isn't big enough for the slaves I wanted to put in there, so I'm going to actually destroy it. We'll build a new one. And actually, slaves can revolt, so we'll actually probably put them in a confined space outside of our walls. Let's do this. Let's build a gate. The settlement's right here. So let's destroy this, and we'll put a gate here. And that'll lead to a space where we put a housing for the slaves. Now, why would I do that? For one simple reason. Just so that they're segregated from the rest of the group, because they can revolt. And we want to know where they're going to be when they revolt. And that also puts them really far away from all this stuff. Looks like winter is coming for us. They're slowly getting a house built, which is nice. 2 rabid dire wolves, alright. All the children have been assigned to crafting. We're going to go around here, go to walls, so we're actually going to layer this up a bit more. I don't know what the space will be for it, but I like that it makes a box, so we're getting it. Looks like we have 1 person that doesn't actually have a room yet, so we'll be expanding this structure as well. Well, actually, the bunk bed structure will have to expand. Then all along this will be the carts. I know, it's such a build-up. Gather. Are they doing copper mining? Yeah, we want them to do that. Six archers they plan to attack with. Cohog. Spring 1, year 5. So next year, spring. Let's go look at the work schedule here. This main group is mainly for crafting and farming and such. And this is what I was talking about. We can build walls on the walls. Build a taller wall. Kind of get out of the range of enemy archers. We gotta finish building everything else first, so there's too much work to be done. And we didn't lose anybody. This one's got a fracture though, and has heart failure. And we've forced them to join us after that battle. The envoy of Sand Swamp tribe slices his palm, letting blood drip into your cup. Our strongest now serve you. Point the way and we'll draw the bow. Those who kneel eat, those who resist burn. So from now on, we're gonna have to give these guys some stuff every year, but in return, we can use them for our battles. And their population will grow as well. So at this point, you guys can see this is how you expand. You just keep attacking and attacking and attacking. You develop your cohesion and influence, and eventually people join you. You can keep getting people to join you, and eventually just spread your wings and fly around. We have a little bit further to go with this, though, because I have to show you we can actually use these guys to do war for us, which is a big deal. We have one seriously ill people at the moment. Very not good time for this fella. So we're going to send them straight over here. There we go. He's literally got 3 health left, so hopefully he takes it quickly. Is anyone else seriously injured? So this group that's been doing cohesion all the time, we're actually going to have them switch to spending half to a good amount of their time researching technology for us again. Now we can go back to the creation tree. That's one of the big things that needed to be done. We want to research the copper bow. These guys will be the best for it. Let's go to building, store, food store. We need to culture and technology. Oh shoot, I messed up. Alright, one sec. Let's go to view here. Let's cancel those copper tools. Let's go to gathering here and research copper tools, which will allow us to make stuff with the copper. One of our tribesmen has passed away. We're having everybody that's still alive carve their knowledge on these rocks so that nothing is left behind. 3 rabid dire wolf are attacking the settlement. They're going straight for our animals that are not covered at the moment. Increasing the age a bit so we can start getting more chickens in here. We're going to move these corrals. Put our culture buildings over here too. Oh, I didn't realize that one was running away. Will they catch him? Oh, I guess someone goes free. Next time I gotta remember to do this. Close the gate. And close this gate. The whole point of building all this was to prevent that, but okay. Good job, me. Well, I'm hoping one of these really smart ones gets released into the colony and we can make them a leader and they can take on complex tasks for the rest of the group. Oh, I forgot to make the animal feeding bench forever ago. I don't know how we still even have animals. That's funny. Oh, it's right here. We capture a baby one too. Let's go. Ended up being useful after all. These guys are traders. Haven't had any traders come along in a while. We're gonna go ahead and open these gates. Let these guys of ours walk outside. What is that child doing over here? Quickly take the traumatic drugs. 4 health. He's getting so low. 3. Oh, don't die on us. Oh, thank goodness, Elder. That's what we like to see. We're gonna start keeping a lot more of these around. I think 30 is a good number. What do you guys have to trade with us? This is one of those great moments where we have all those extra bows, which gives us a 29,000 purchasing ability. Very good. This is a good one because we'll get the benefits right away. Time to engrave some more crafting knowledge, eh? Don't mind if we do. And we'll put all the kids to learn crafting as well. We have an excellent teacher for it. Placing down some seed benches so we can go gathering seed from the wild millet that we have, and we're going to use that wild millet seed to plant wild millet here. We've actually done some preliminary research already into farmland, so we'll be able to research brown millet, which is the same plant, it just has a higher yield. Eventually we'll research watering so we can water things faster, and then of course the well. Now we've learned to domesticate these dudes, and that gives us the plow, which is something we have to craft, I believe. I actually haven't gotten this far before, so let's all learn it together. Leave the plow is up here. Yeah, it's a new building item, and we'll keep a stock of 11 of them. Move that right to the top, and then we'll copy and paste this good stuff down. They are on their way. Oh, that wasn't good. Someone done down. Thalzer. He was really good at what he does. It's too bad. And he's super old. And his gather knowledge was really good. Finally got copper tools. We're going to make sure we keep a solid stock of these always. Dang, I gotta avoid letting the population shrink again. That was way too many guys. Where'd they all even come from? Will you make it to take the potion? Come on, alright, take it again. So that's what this is for. Closes instantly. There's not much they can do. We can go and then tell everyone that's over here to gather around. Come over this way. Been quite a while, guys, but pretty much all that's happened here is I've built a huge wall. We've researched a bunch of technology and captured a few more slaves. We're now able to I think we actually mentioned this earlier in the video, but just in case we didn't, we've unlocked the smith here. And at the smith, we can make everything out of copper tools. And the copper tools are going to be the main thing that we need to gather resources a lot more efficiently. And inevitably, we're going to make copper weapons. We've been making people's much better armor and clothing as well. As you can see here, these very nice robes. It's much better than the other clothes that we keep around. In fact, so much better, we're going to have to go ahead and find a new spot to store it, which is actually going to be over here, which is kind of just the expansion of our current storage room. We no longer need to worry about storing stuff outside, which is very nice. We're researching the copper bow. Once we've done that, we're going to make everybody copper bows, get everybody actual copper armor, and then we're just going to train forever and go raid and raid and raid. Instead of signing you to cohesion, actually we're going to assign you to work. Yep, just to work, and then we're going to go to the work schedule here for you, who's all there lonesome. We definitely got to get another one of those animals. We're going to send this group after him. Set out, get ourselves another plowing cow. Yeah, gathering the cows for plowing is so ridiculously useful. Just watching them dig up the ground, incredibly helpful. Why is there sheep running along our castle walls? Slowly becoming more secure in our food. This is going really well, actually. What was he doing outside? I didn't even notice that. Oh, I thought it was our Mjolnir. Never mind. It was none of our people that was out there dead. It's the biggest fight yet. Just holy cow. So everybody's got advanced outfits, advanced leader outfits. What are you taking with you? A plow? So we're able to muster 20 soldiers now, which is a really big deal. If we can get it up to mustering like 30, we could probably just start attacking whoever we want. Almost there. 15 spears and 3 archers. It's so tough watching everyone to make sure we don't lose any. What is your deal? You have no weapon? That's so funny. This went really well. And there we go. They did it. Alright. Everything's pushing forward pretty good. Oh, 4 dire wolves are here. Well, I believe we had to leave some of the people behind due to pregnancies, right? Is that so? Well, you know what? I have a secondary plan. A secondary option. No one should be outside right now since it's late at night. So we'll just close the gates. What are they doing? They tried to jump the wall? What the heck? They climbed the wall. This is an unprecedented situation. We didn't expect this. Well, we'll just open the gates because that didn't work at all. They just kind of climb over the wall. That was way unexpected. Well, they ate all the animals, but at least they're dead. With that in mind, we're going to schedule these guys all to working now, and their primary work is going to be herding. That's right, they're going to go out and herd animals into the base because they're all dead out here. Go get us some fresh ones, boys. Then we're also going to go to the work here, where we have you, 2 to that group, and 2 to that group. Actually, we could do something a little different here. Create a new group for the new youth. And we'll just have them under constant training to get them up to par with everyone else. Yes, come along, trade. Maybe someone's got copper we can buy. Somebody must have copper we can buy. They do got copper. Let's go. 50 copper is going to cost us 6,500. Where do we get 6,500 from? 20 of these bows. We can sell them all our flint stuff and then go and swap the flint stuff out for copper stuff. Confirm this trade, then we go back to all the crafting tables and say, hey, these things don't make wooden stuff anymore. Alright, sweet, very good stuff. So cool to see them all have like their own armor and stuff finally after so long. Hopefully we can get our 3rd territory here. So the more territories you conquer as vassals, the more soldiers you can force them to give you every year, right? Until you reach a point where you're getting good stuff, right? Like these guys give you good stuff. Shielded units. I think it's better and better as time goes on. If you get really far over here, you start getting archers. Then you get to the kingdoms. Wait, this slave that doesn't want to leave is very good. Yes, yes. You'll become an honorary colonist when we return. Oh, of the things you've allowed us to do. We come back home after such a long trip. Time wasted, food wasted, and they thought they could leave. Oh, they're going to bed. They're finally going to break it in the night. But that was long enough. We are home. We are all home. Hopefully no one died from that. That looked rough. Calf fracture. Why don't you go take some potion? I think just for the heck of it, we should assign some builders to make this place look a lot better once we finish everything here. All the new slaves we're gathering, we're going to assign to a new group for construction, because we have everybody's too caught up with crafting and stuff. There's no one we can really split off to do the other tasks. From this raid, we're going to get 3, which is plenty good. If we can let this group keep growing instead of bringing them off to war and putting them in danger, they'll probably, the population's going to grow and we'll probably start getting more from them as they get bigger. We're almost there. Sending cows to go battle is ridiculously good. We should probably research giving them armor and stuff. 15 archers, 2 cows, 3 clobber. Yeah, we're going to clobber them. But they're pretty tough themselves, but we're still going to clobber them. Oh, they're going to defend their castle. This is new. So this guy's pretty injured. We're going to tell him to hang back. If I tell your cow to move, you won't move. Alright, we're going to tell you to stay put. We're going to tell you to stay put in front of the archers. It can't be controlled. This is ridiculous. Zarkazul, why? So determined to get dead. Please stop, Bond. Yeah, he's gonna go solo someone when he's got no health left. And he won't stay put when I order him to because he's got a pig with him that wants to fight. Sanity. Alright, only the strong survive. They're gonna come home. So I've organized everybody into their various groups based off of what they're good at. So these are actually people, but they've been named warriors, cooking, crafting, farming, coaching. Then we'll go to schedule, research tech, research culture, all tech, all work, cohesion, weapons trading. Then we can go to the work schedule. Crafting will be unassigned from building completely. Then building will only build. And when they're not building, they will help with gathering. Very good stuff. And of course, we have all the children down here. So many of them. They have mentors assigned. They do indeed. Let's see what they have to trade. Sell off all these primitive clothes. We don't really need any more. Tools we're not using anymore. I think they just put the stuff on the ground. Your people go pick it up. Just like in RimWorld. It's about time to build more housing. Added a few more fancy bit things to the base. Lighten things up. It's a bit dark at night for these people. And it seems we've overcome the food crisis in its entirety. We've gotten a big harvest of millet, wild millet, and the plants are going well. It may have been that my desires to crusade were a bit beyond me, and I spent too much of our food resources on traveling around and capturing people. So spending some time to recoup our food supplies has probably been the best move so far. Pretty much hunted the map dry. There isn't any more wild creatures for them to look for. We'll schedule our warriors to tackle technology for a while, actually. Wild millet will do us a lot better than other things, then we can research a well and get that done. What a curse. All the Erics we have are all female. No wonder they're not becoming more of them. There's a miniature one. It doesn't have a sprite yet. Leader of warriors passed away. They just break up the whole group. Oh, Tholgor took over. Can't spell anything. Jeez. He's got a stroke and neuropathy. What a age to be, 56 years old and in charge of all the fighters. I was thinking we could build the well right here. That should support all the farming we want to do pretty well. Getting those wells out there. This is something we were planning on building a while ago, but it needed a little work done to it first. All the training sites are going to have to get moved outside so we can build a council hall within the building, within the structure. So we're going to disassemble all of these here and move them over here. Then once that's done, we're going to be building the cultural hall here where people can come and give us tribute, where we can have all of our fancy structures. We'll be able to build guard stations, have presidential seating, stuff like that. There we go. That looks good. Using the arches is just so broken. Looks like construction's well underway. Yeah, at least we'll get some new workers out of this. Looks like we gotta start doing training on everybody again. No one in this group's any good. We are attacking Clayfoot, who threatened us a while ago. They will not be sticking around for a whole lot longer. So everybody, we built this place to be a fortress. Looks like the enemy might be attacking sooner than we expected them to. But if we move everybody inside, it shouldn't be a problem. The walls are thick, the gates are thick, walls are very, very thick if we have to go into the inner walls. How many archers did they bring? One with a flint bow. Yeah, people are almost home. Looks like everyone's gonna return home just in time.
Alrighty. We've got one last thing to do before the end of this video, and I want to show you guys all the tribute systems. So you remember a while ago, we built a big, beautiful building over here. Right here. So at this spot, people that owe us tribute will come here. Conquered peoples that we demand tribute from. They'll come here and give us tribute instead of giving us soldiers. So to show you how that works, we'll come over here and we will actually demand a tribute from them. Right? The plain tribe kneels with mud on their skin and fear in their hearts. We have no steel, no stories, no future, but we have breath, let us keep it, please. Right? So, they submit to us, and they are going to, from now on, bring us tribute. In order to host your ceremony, you select the meeting hall area here after all of the required buildings are available, and then you go to assign host. Then you can select any number of people you want to have host these meetings, right? So you can have up to 10 guards, at least I can, because I put a lot of guard spots, and one host, right? So with all of that, we have this room size, we can commence the tribute ceremony. And that's the end of the tribute. We've gotten 1,200 cultured millet.
I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope it taught you a bit more about Primitive Society Simulator and what it has to offer you. If you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. Go get the game if you're liking that too. And I'll see you next time.